All right, first we need to.
Let's do it.
Okay. Hello, everybody. We are officially on, and we are together. Hi, Christine.
Hey.
Hey. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're tired this morning. We have been to 3 Ranger games in California. Last night, we were at the Sharks Rangers game up here in beautiful San Jose. Can't complain. San Jose is very beautiful. And just watched the Rangers play. I don't know if it felt like the worst out of the 3 games or what, but we decided to jump on and try to commiserate with everybody. We are also staying with 7 friends in an Airbnb who are all, for the most part, Ranger fans. So everybody is now hungover and disappointed this morning. How are you feeling?
I'm hungover. I think I was drunk by the time they scored the first goal.
By the time the plane took off.
It's been a long week. I know, and here's the thing. From your guys' point of view, I know a lot of people are on the East Coast, and the first 2 games, all the games were on the late side, right? And so I know that there was a lot of talk of people saying they weren't going to be watching the game on Monday. Some people did. Most people didn't because we went live and no one was around. And like everyone, we've been kind of having days of like adjustment, like, oh, maybe they didn't do so well because of the news. Maybe they, I think we saw a little bit more effort in the beginning of the week. Yeah. I don't know what we saw last night.
And hi, Gaza. Thanks for jumping on with us. I hope you were not staying up to watch any of these games. You're right. I think they seem to have a little bit more spring in their step at the beginning of the week, and then as last night's Sharks game went on, it just got progressively sloppier and sloppier and sloppier, and nobody seemed to care.
Well, the fact that they had Martin in last night, I'm still stumped by that. So, and I'll tell you something too. Like there were a lot of Ranger people in the crowds, but everyone's lost the momentum. Like we normally are going to these games, and everyone's cheering, "Let's go Rangers!" Even if we're losing, it's just like it's fun, and you're getting into it. And there's a bird. And so there's just a bird at the window. Like it's right there. It's a bird.
Okay. It's probably a Ranger fan and is trying to kill itself. It's trying to kill itself by flying repeatedly into that window.
It's happening right now.
That's what I think is happening.
So, but they weren't loud and they weren't quiet, and they were barely visible, and that I felt, I observed it was interesting because even the fan base is quiet. And
You know what? I completely agree. I think that observation has been very interesting. We have gone to Ranger games out in California every year that we have been doing this podcast, and obviously years before that too. Every single game we would go to, Ranger fans would be out in force. You would hear at every arena chants of "Let's go Rangers." It was very positive. And I think with these 3 games, the only way I can describe Ranger fans, because people showed up, they wore jerseys, they obviously came out to support the team. They just looked all so like shell shocked. Like everybody has Rangers PTSD. There was like one chant at the beginning, but how many games did we see where the other team scored within a minute?
So by the time Kings game, we didn't even sit down. We're like, excuse me, wait, what? You know, like we hadn't even sat down.
This was like, scored. And for the Sharks, I think we got like a minute and a half before the Sharks scored.
It was less than 2 minutes.
So as Ranger fans, it just feels like
that didn't surprise me.
Yeah, but it just feels like everything's been muted, and it's very disappointing. And usually there's camaraderie, usually there's like friendly banter, like with the other fans in the crowd. I got none of that because I think nobody wanted to talk to each other. I mean, the Sharks fans were having a good old time.
There really isn't a lot to say. I think. And just to share with you, I'm sure that you guys are kind of seeing it too. We're still fresh. A week ago, we all read the letter, and that was a big topic. So I think everyone's still just trying to process that this is really happening again. And now, and I think the thought is now when everyone's watching the game, or whoever was there was, like, who are we never going to see again? So, and I felt that was more of kind of the attitude that people were having.
Yeah.
As I was talking to people.
I do also want to point out, we do have a Rangers jersey in the background here. That jersey did not come with us to San Jose. That jersey was procured last night. How did you procure that jersey last night? It's Miller. It's when he wore 10.
You know what's so funny? Wait, so here, you know what? I'm just realizing this now. So all week, I've been talking to people about their jerseys. My jersey's Panarin, which I wore earlier in the week, and we're going to get to this in later. But I'm just realizing it's number 10 now. I haven't paid attention to this jersey. But how it ties into the conversation, because I'm like, what am I going to do? What jersey do I want? I've been talking about it all season that I haven't had. Like no one's striking me enough to go get their jersey. And it could be fear of like them being traded.
Because they are going to be traded.
now
it's completely legitimate.
But all season it was like, I want to get a jersey. I just don't know who I want. And the funniest thing is how this is a number 10. And so how I acquired this last night was that as we were leaving, this guy threw it in the trash. And as I come down the stairs, his friend is pulling it out of the trash can, and he's like, dude, take it. And somehow I ended up with it because he's trying to push it away. And I gave it back. I'm like, dude, no, just take it. And he grabbed it from me, and he's like, no, I'm done. And he chucked it in and walked off. So I took it. And now it's, if the guy is ever found and wants it back, we can return it.
We were saying, Miller could have like a complete turnaround of a season. I don't think it's going to happen, but he did throw out a very nice, high quality Ranger jersey. But I mean,
that's a 10. Which is funny. I just think that's funny now.
But that is such a microcosm for how New York Rangers fans are feeling right now.
No, this is why I'm feeling this way, because I drank this last night.
This is actually a really nice little giveaway. So the San Jose Sharks, who I have to give props to the arena. The arena in San Jose is absolutely beautiful. It's very walkable to a lot of different things around the city. It's a little cramped once you're in there. There's a lot of people who are all moving to the same place. But there is there's a stick that you can fill with Molson. So Christine had to get it. Gaza saying the MSG team store online still owes me a Centennial Winter Classic, but the Centennial jersey I ordered for a friend, which is Trocheck on it, and was delivered before Christmas.
Did you have a choice? I think you had a choice. Like, I think you could get a jersey or a book. So hopefully you guys are choosing the book because it's pretty amazing. And
it looks
and
back
it was
at better times. I was on the fence about getting the Centennial jersey this year, and I am actually really, really glad that.
No, I mean, I'm still gonna want it. We're gonna want it for later. It's still gonna be a memorable year.
And also throw out to the Sharks props for their very nice giveaway. This was the promo. It's technically a 49ers jersey crossover with the Sharks, so it's a cute little jersey. It has 26 on it. It actually does not have the 49ers logo, but the Super Bowl is up here this year, so
they had giveaways all week. Excited. Too at the Ducks game, they had like what was it, like a Snuggie blanket?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great. It was like a wearable Snuggie that was all tricked out with Duck stuff, and there's pockets. It was actually a really awesome promo. So we had some good promos, probably better than I don't know what the promos have been in MSG lately.
They don't. And then the Kings game, it was Korean night, and they were giving away jerseys too, but it was with a pack, so we didn't. But they had giveaways that. And then if you guys watched that game, they had the harmonica choir do the national anthem, which is the best thing. So look, these out of all our misery for the week, and we're gonna cry and commiserate with with the players and the lack of team spirit and everything. We are like, it was fun, we had friends, we had good times. You saw live, we were at the warm-ups for stuff. And one of the things we will shout out and say is like, every year it's the same people that we meet when we're there for the Ranger games. And it's fun to look forward to the same crew. And we're usually kids, and we're watching them grow up and get older each time. And they all get sticks and pucks one day.
Yeah, and I have to say, like we had an enjoyable week. That has been fun because it's been very nice to be together. It's been very nice to be with friends. Yeah, if you can hear some of them in the background, we're all sharing an Airbnb in San Jose and going to enjoy one of our friends' birthdays. So unfortunately, he flew out to New York to see a loss from San Jose. But I just want to talk back about the game really quickly. We didn't see much of anything. So Martin started in goal. He looked like he was trying, but was just not on top of his game. Everything else looked sloppy, terrible passes, no energy, dumb penalties. I think the Rangers took more penalties in that game than they had in absolute years. Oh yeah. The Sharks were on top of them, and also every time the team roots for the Sharks, they basically do little shark motions.
So, also, by the way, so Sharks, the fans were great. The people who were sitting around were great. Ducks fans, not so much. Okay, they have a freaking duck whistle, and literally all of us wanted to punch people in the face because usually they're not the mean ones. Usually the Kings fans are the mean ones. But as my son said, we've been giving them a hard time long enough. I guess it's their time. Like they've earned it, So we're also watching Ducks and Kings are in contention, trying to kind of stay and get into the playoffs.
And so is San Jose. San Jose is right. I think San Jose is now in a playoff spot after that game last night, or they've just been hovering just around the wild card.
Back to being givers, because when the Rangers came into town, the Kings and the Ducks just had done back-to-back games against each other, which we were hoping would benefit us a little bit. It did not. So you can saw the the energy and the expectation is that the West Coast teams are playing better anyway.
I'm just going to go through the Western Conference, the playoff spots as of now. Obviously, there's still a lot of hockey to go as we head up to the winter break, or the Olympic break. In the Central, so we have Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota are the top three. In the Pacific, it's Vegas Golden Knights, Edmonton, and Anaheim. And the two wild cards right now are the Utah Mammoth and the San Jose Sharks, with LA right behind San Jose. So these games have been very interesting for the Ducks, the Kings, and San Jose. And the Rangers kindly granted all three teams 2 points.
Tumble down.
Yep.
I don't know. It's as I'm older and I've been through these seasons. I feel like I don't know when the last time I've seen the Rangers tank so hard, so fast.
Yeah.
In a year where before it started, we all had such good and high expectations. With his historical facts. And and being having Sullivan and Quinn together, and everybody starting the year off healthy. And it just has gone beyond our expectations in the most opposite direction.
And then last night, I don't know if you had a chance to watch it because you guys were out quite late. But I watched the post game. I'm now calling it the post game mumbles. So whenever the Rangers lose and they do the interviews, you get the post game mumbles. And again, it's just like, how many times can these guys say the exact same thing about, oh, well, we didn't have it tonight, or we thought we played well, and blah blah blah. No, I think everybody's sick of hearing it. No more excuses. I want somebody to go up there and say, we played like absolute shit. This was disappointing for the fans. This was disappointing for everyone. We barely tried. We took dumb penalties that led to goals. I don't think that they care anymore. Panarin, I watch Panarin, and he still has a little spring in his step, and maybe it's because he's the only one who's like, at least I get to be out of here at some point soon. But everybody else looks slow. Dumb, absolutely dumb moves, especially by like Schneider on defense. Dumb passes that don't seem to go anywhere. They never get anything set up. I think they had one goal last night. Carrick scored a goal that almost seemed like it was a mistake. So it just this team has gone from, hey, these guys have so many, like the sum of the parts should be greater, and they just look so sloppy. Sloppy is the only word that keeps coming to mind for me.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's like when from Monday to last night and watching the games. So Monday, Martin was in. We had seats right behind the goal, so we can look down upon it. And kind of this, I was talking about this too. This brings perspective, to things, because we're mostly watching this on TV. And you have the camera angle, point of view, but you're not seeing a lot of things. But when you're watching Martin going like sliding outside the blue paint, and you want to go and just, and grab him by the shoulders and put him right in the spot and tell him not to move, you see the mistakes. And he cost us that game because he would just make these moves, slide out. He couldn't recover, and they were easy goals. And I'll tell you, none of these games did I see the other team playing extraordinarily well, where it was like it could have been a 10-2. Although yesterday I was like, because of Martin, I'm like, I turned to the guys behind me and I'm like, if you guys don't score 8 goals, I'm going to be very disappointed, because it was, it was Macklin who scored the first goal in the first minute and a half.
Of course it was.
And there was no surprise there.
The other person I want to point out and just call out actually is JT Miller. Hence, and I completely understand why that dude was throwing at the jersey. JT Miller has been, he scored a couple of goals. Like I can't fault him on certain things, but I don't see from him any leadership on the ice the same way that we would see somebody like Kreider a couple of years ago be out there talking. We were granted our seats were a little far from the bench, so it was hard to see what was happening, but you just didn't see any communication going on between these players on the ice. And if that doesn't come from the captain, I don't know who's going to be the person to step up. Trocheck seems like a shell of himself, to be honest, because I thought he was always somebody who would have stepped very naturally into that role once Kreider was gone. And I'm just seeing a couple of comments. Easy solution, trade JT Miller for someone who actually cares, plus draft picks. Absolutely. And maybe JT Miller, obviously JT Miller's gone through whatever he's gone through. I know he had issues, like personality issues with Vancouver. So I don't know what's going on in that guy's head. But I don't know who's going to take him. He's been around. He just looks, also in the post-game interviews, he just looks so tired. Like, I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it. But I guess now we have
I'll just know.
Now you have a Miller jersey. We can figure out what to do with that. Maybe I'm going to eventually burn it.
I'll use it to clean things. I pulled it from the trash. Okay.
But yeah, I think so. God says the point. We want Brady. We want somebody who gives a shit. I mean, really, that's what it seems like. None of these guys seem to care. And I don't think Jury's letter helped anybody get onto the caring side, because why would you care at this point? They've made it very clear that they're not going to try. So what's the point?
When you've told your team that you're all expendable with the exception of like the 3 people which they can't trade, 5, it's fine. Then what? Yeah, and it kind of goes like, what's that mentality that you're going out on the ice and playing with? You're still marketable. You got to market yourself, and that's I think where I get disappointed because look, Miller's been on the buy low, sell high, buy low. He's always on that list, so he's not as marketable or valuable as he could be, and this is where I think watching Panarin this week at least try, to do things because he knows he can do whatever he wants. I think now we're going to start watching this little ticking time bomb blow up.
Great. It can't happen soon enough.
So
I thought we might get news on this road trip, to be honest, about some changes that were being made. And now the Rangers they're heading back to New York to play against Boston again. And if you recall, the last time they played against Boston, it did not go well. So they have a little chance at least to have some pride.
Just play Martin.
They probably will.
Yeah, they probably will. I'm like, it's not good. We're going to take bets on that one, okay?
Maybe Shesterkin will be ready to come back by then, because I think he was skating the other day, and we can only hope.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't want to get hurt again. I don't know. It'll be a weird thing.
For what? The playoffs? Who cares at this point? We're not making the playoffs. He has 2 months to recover, 4 months to recover. So
I think they all need something because, again, the whole team's going. Yeah. I'm worried about Quick. Especially because I don't know why they did not play Quick yesterday. He would have been able to stop a shot from
maybe Quick went on strike.
Maybe he got hurt. It's funny because they said Kemper went out because he got hurt, and they showed a clip, and I don't know how he got hurt because it didn't look like anything happened. He didn't skate off the ice or anything. So the play that they showed didn't even look like there's contact. Interesting. But I guess that's the other thing too is. If everyone's on the trading block, they don't want to get hurt. So how are they playing safely? Are they just there to do the most? This is disappointing for even the fact where we've been and how they've been playing at home. We've always had that road trip, which we're still good at penalty kills. We were still up there with the road trip. That's done.
Now this version of the team is bad at everything.
Well, they still kill penalties, so they're still in the top.
These 3 back-to-back losses on the road could not have helped their road trip records for this year. But on that note, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We will be back with you next week to commiserate when we're a little less hungover and back tucked in nicely in LA. If you are in New York, please stay safe. We hear there's a big storm rolling in, so please
the alumni
be careful.
game has been canceled, is what we're also hearing. So everything rolling in today. We'll put something out there too online to just let everybody know that we're thinking about you guys. I'm not gonna brag, but it's really nice.
Thank you for participating with us. It's good to talk to you. Hope you are staying nice and warm in England.
I know. Stay inside. Be safe. There's more to cry about. We're here for you.
Yeah.
As you guys are here for us.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. You guys have a great day. Bye.